Step one, empty out the molding bench, clean out the muller, mold all the leftover sand from the giant mold that never got seen on YouTube. There's the gating system from it though. Stow all Petrobond in this giant barrel. It's got it from a maple farmer who's cutting down on the number of barrels he produces of sap this year. He can make a deal on these, on a few of these barrels. It's probably close to 500 pounds there. I'm not sure exactly how much Petrobond I have, but it's enough to keep me going for a while. Step two, start working on my bring back my Greensand project with a whole new batch. I still have my old Greensand in that barrel, but the good stuff that was in it that came from Smelco's got all mixed in with my homemade stuff that used just screened number 70 silica, which wasn't the right blend of sand, grain sizes and whatnot. I never really had the strength I wanted to see for it. But I got the right stuff now. So, yeah. Need the iron casting sand if I'm going to start trying to cast iron. Got my bentonites. Western, aka sodium bentonite, and southern, aka calcium bentonite. They each have their own functions in a Greensand recipe. We'll go over that later. And we must not forget the dirty, nasty crap, the seacoal. So on the left, we have samples of 130 grain fineness number green diamond sand, which is a synthetic olivine. When I first read about it, I assumed it was olivine sand that they had synthesized to 130 grain fineness number by manipulating the screens, but no, it's actually synthetic sand. It's a byproduct of the nickel refining process. Foundry Supply Products gets all their green diamond sand from the one pit in the world where the slag doesn't end up contaminated with lead. But they're very careful where they get their stuff. On the other hand, this is 56 grain fineness number silica. I'm not going to pretend I can see the difference in grain sizes. This one is finer, and it looks green compared to the silica, but it's really too fine to even focus in with my phone camera. So here's my percentages. I'm going for 10% clay, 2% seacoal mix for my facing sand. I'm going to use just western bentonite in my facing sand because from what I've read, the southern bentonite will burn out very quickly at iron casting temperatures, and this is going to be my facing sand. I'll probably put about half and half in my backup sand of both types of bentonite because it'll make it easier to break the molds up after casting iron into them. The dry strength of pure western bentonite sand is going to be very high. So yeah, so right now I am weighing up the 2 pounds of western bentonite here, scoop by scoop. Whoops. Well, close enough for me. All right. 20 pounds of clean dry silica, 56 grain fineness number sub-rounded grains, 2 pounds of western bentonite, and 6.4 ounces of high purity seacoal. That's what is going in my facing sand, at least for the first batch. We'll see how it mulls up. All right, I got my 11.2 ounces of water weighed out to make a 3.5% moisture mix. I'll probably add just the sand and maybe half the water at first, get it mixed up, and then I'll sprinkle in the other ingredients, mull it for a while, and then add the rest of the water.
This is just sand, no clay or coal yet.
All right, out here where I can be heard. I'm gonna let that mull for, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that. It looks pretty good already, but I just want to make sure that the process is complete, as opposed to just being all mixed up and kind of damp. You really got to get that clay smeared onto the sand. That's what most people are missing in their homemade greensand, is true mulling action. It still feels way too wet, but I'm pretty sure that's because it takes time for the clay to really soak up the water. When I bought my 130 mesh greensand for aluminum casting from Smelco Foundry Supplies in 2015, Tim Smelco told me that they put 4 to 7% bentonite. And now for the 56 grain fineness number, John's recommending 10%. I think that's, I'm not sure why that is. It may be that putting a little extra in the iron sand because to make up for what's going to get burned out. Possibly it has to do with the size and shape of the sand grains. I'm not sure, but I'm going to follow John's recommendation because he's the one supplying all the ingredients, so it ought to work the way he says it does. see how we're doing here. Ugh. Oh yeah, it's very sticky, very strong, nice, everything you want. It feels very wet though, but that's just because it's so new. The clay is still absorbing that water. Once it slakes overnight, or I can't remember what the word for it is, it'll temper. Anyway, it takes some time to sit and absorb all that water. And it should feel drier tomorrow, but still be nice and sticky and just right if something hasn't gone wrong. All right, it's been a day. Sealed up pretty good, and I did roll it around and shake it up a little bit. Excuse me. Now let's see. Oh, it still feels pretty wet. It's really strong. It doesn't stick to me. It's not too wet, obviously. It's not like muddy. I guess it's okay. It feels super strong. There's no question about that. Breaks pretty clean. Yeah. No problem with the green strength. And I put in the amount of water he said. It's definitely not, what can I say? I guess it's good. Okay, well here's the makings of a batch of the backup sand. The facing sand I made before is in the little barrel. I made 40 pounds of it. I had the proportions a little bit off on the first batch, so I had to add a little bit of ingredients B and C to make up for the extra ingredient A, etc., etc. But it's the right percentages now. It's just that there's like a little bit more than 40 pounds total of the facing sand. I'm doing the same thing for the rest, except it's got 5% western bentonite, 5% southern bentonite, 2% seacoal, and 88% silica. I'll be tempering it with that much water. So the only difference is I am putting the seacoal in all of it. It's just I don't want to deal with it. It's just going to be there. But the facing sand has only the western bentonite in it, which should take less time to burn out. And hopefully it's just this little guy of it. It'll be gone before I know it anyway. So I don't know if it really matters. Anyway. All right, let's see how this goes. First the silica, then half of the water-ish, then the clay, then the rest of the water, then the seacoal.
That's the western bit, right? This is the south.
Let's see what we got. Feels good. I'd say it's about half full. It's literally up to my elbow. I can rest my elbow on the side of the barrel and touch sand, and this barrel comes up. It's a 55-gallon drum as near as I can tell. So it's definitely getting. Well, there's already 250 pounds of sand mixed up before I opened this box, so that's where we are now with this.